Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to talk about Thor Financial. If you're interested in some nodes and some cool passive income, maybe 50K a year, I think you guys should stick around. We'll see you in just a second. Alright guys, let's get into this. So what is Thor Financial? Well, if you've heard of Strong Block, it's very similar to that, but not really. So, Strong Block's been around. It's the king right now. Kind of expensive on Ethereum, gas fees, all that stuff, right? So, Thor might have come from somewhere else, from a bad word that has been around now for, I will say, a couple months when the incident happened. If you've heard of Ring Financial, Thor might be a spinoff of that. But wait, before you have the fear strike in your heart, it's not that bad. So, Ring Financial had a hack. They were burned, basically. Thor spun off because of what happened with Ring Financial. Totally different group of developers and teams, so don't worry about that. And a very, very different setup on the project. So, I wouldn't worry about any of that. I think these guys are actually in a great place right now, and we're going to talk about that. All right, so I want to give you two reasons why I think that Thor Financial makes me feel pretty safe. So, number one, they have pivoted multiple times already to keep the project sustainable. And what I mean by that is they saw that the life of Thor with the output was not going to work out too well, way too much capital going out than coming in. And as a result, they made some changes to the rewards, which in this case is they lowered them. Nobody likes that, but would you rather a project stay around and live and you get some rewards, or would you rather it crash and burn before you've gotten anything? They've done one pivot, and they've already done a second pivot this month, really last month, but it's starting this month. And so these guys are trying their best. And I say these guys, the team, the devs, they're doing what they can to keep this project sustainable for me, for you, for everybody in the community. So that's awesome. So number two, the community. Easily the next most important thing, if not, tied for first. So these guys and gals in the community all want this project to survive. And every time this team has pivoted or made some changes, the community's been in step with them all the way and supporting them. So, if you don't have that, you're going to have problems. But the community's been on board with them, and it's been fantastic. So I already gave you two good reasons, but now I'm going to give you an extra two for bonus. So number three in the list of reasons is going to be pretty simple, pretty fast. The lead developer for Thor Financial is KYC'd. I believe that's through Assure, which is pretty reputable. Great thing there. The community manager, Loki, he's the face or the voice, if you will. Actually, turns out he is the face now, but anyways, he represents the team and all, and so is very involved in the community. The community loves the guy, so you'll see that on Discord if you guys check that out. But recently, he has shown his face. So you only know his first name, so I guess he's only partially doxed still. But steps further, right? The guy's a great guy. Everything I've seen from him so far, he's put hours and hours into AMAs. All that goes in hand, I think, for what I'm saying is number three. All right, number four. These guys are very open with what their treasury is being invested in. This is very unusual. Well, I won't say unusual, but it is not the norm. So not everybody else tells you. They say they're investing in things, but maybe you don't know what they are. Well, with this team, the community votes on whatever that treasury is going to be invested in. Okay. So most recently, I think they had treasury vote. I don't even know. Was it 8? We'll see that in a second, but they've had all these treasury votes. So multiple investments, right? Many investments. They get to put them out there on Discord, and the community gets to vote on them. So super fair system, works great. So we'll see those investments here soon for clarity. So with all that said, I do have a very good confidence in the project. However, that doesn't ever mean anything is going to be permanent or last. So I don't want you guys to get the wrong idea and think I'm telling you that you're going to put money into this project and make anything. you could lose everything you put into the project because it could go away like that. This is crypto, and you just never know what's going to happen from day to day. Despite the negativity, right? I do have good confidence in the project, so for me, I'm going to invest in it more beyond what I've already done. I'm probably going to compound more. That's probably going to be my strategy, which I'll get to in a few moments. But yeah, so sorry to be negative, but I have to get that out of the way. I want you guys to know what I feel on this, but also know I don't want to spin something and make it seem like it's something it isn't as well. All right, let's take a look at the website. So if you come over here, you'll get here through thor.financial, and I'll put a link in the description for you guys. They're doing updates on this, by the way, so hopefully in the next month we'll see a new, fresh website with a little bit better information because as you're going to see here, we're going to go to the Discord to find the best information, which is not a problem, but you got to go there to get the latest and greatest on everything. So, all right. So that link is here in the community, and you'll see the Discord icon here. Of course, they have a Twitter, but you can check this out, and we'll come back to this in a minute to actually show you the actual app and how to buy Thor. All right, so on to the Discord. This main section here, announcements. This is why I said these guys are on top of stuff with the community. They announce everything they're doing. I mean, this goes back. So this has only been around since, I think, December. So there's a ton of stuff in here. Keeping up to date on everything for everybody involved. Just mentioned you can see a lot of stuff over here. Price action, staking. We'll talk about staking in a few. And market cap and the number of nodes. So as I said, come through here, check everything out. They have a great FAQ section here. Well written. So come in here, you can download that as a PDF or look at the individual items. And someone's made this beautiful chart. So this kind of walks through both staking, purchase, taxes involved, you know, everything. This is, whoever did this did a wonderful job. So what I wanted to show you guys was the investments. So these guys are super transparent, as I mentioned before. Kind of an ugly one there, huh? But that was our first investment. Invested in Strong, Anchor Protocol, but another good key one that I wanted to point out here is their seventh. They have two Phantom node, validator nodes rather. That's exciting. And I think they're going to add more. Maybe it's not just going to be Phantom, maybe AVAX. I don't know. I know it's been mentioned, but that's exciting. So they're up to 9 investments. This is going to provide great trajectory, path, reliability for these guys. This is where the confidence, one of the confidence boosts come from. So this is the community transparency side of this that lets you know where things are going and happening. So we'll come back over here to node info in just a moment, but we're going to first go back to the website. So you go in here and you want to buy Thor, right? So how do you do that? So here it is. Here's everything you need to know. You connect your wallet here, but first you'll have to purchase Thor, and we're going to come back to this and explain it in just a moment. All right, you come down here. You hit buy Thor. That's going to take you over to Trader Joe. You can accept this. This is directly linked to their that click that you just did on the Thor financial website. This is just making sure you have the Thor contract in, and you can go verify this on Snowtrace to make sure this is accurate. So we come up here and connect wallet. So you're in here, it loads. You'll be able to see this in here. And so I don't have much in my wallet. That's okay. I'm going to say you'd put it down here, right? So let's assume you want to buy the Thor node. The Thor node costs you 12.5 Thor to create that node. There's the cost that it's going to be. You need 10, almost 11 AVAX, which really it'd be better to go ahead and buy 11 and some change because you'll need this for gas fees and whatnot, right? You just come through here. Of course, I have in a insufficient balance, but you'll approve the contract to spend the AVAX, and then you'll come down here and you'll accept. Of course, you'll get the MetaMask pop-ups to allow that, and that's it. So I believe that'll add the Thor token to your wallet, but you know you could always come back and get that address that you just saw, add it to your MetaMask wallet, and import the token contract so you can see them. Okay, so you do that. You'd come back over here to Thor. And now we'll get into, here's the second pivot I mentioned. I wanted to show that. They have that in here right now because that's recently happened. Odin has already transitioned to the lower rewards. Thor is coming in a couple of days, and Freya is later, and then Heimdall is later, so it's staggered. You can see that right here, and the reward changes, what you're going to get daily. So here's a list of my nodes that I purchased. Here's a list of the community nodes, and these are the rewards that my nodes are generating and are available to claim. So you're asking maybe, what are all the nodes for? I don't get it. So they have 4 node types. So with Strong Block, they have 1 type. Well, Thor gives you different tiers for easier buy-in, which I think is an excellent idea. So the small one is 1.25 Thor, all the way up to the biggest at 78.125 for a big old Odin Nor. So you bought your Thor a second ago, you come in here and you pick which one you want, which, by the way, make sure you know how much to buy first. Come in here and look at that before you go to Trader Joe. But if you had done that 12.5, you'd select Thor here. You'd approve the contract, and they tell you approve that first before you try to create it, because otherwise it won't work. You have to name your node. So let's say new node. It would let you come down here and you'd be able to create a node after that. You do your MetaMask pop-up acceptance and you'd be on your happy way. It'd be created, and down here you'd come. So there's my nodes. My first one was created, it's been like 20 days now, I guess. So this one's not super old, right? I'm a little newer in this. I would love to have gotten in back in December, but right now we're generating those rewards off the Thor node, and I bought a little Heimdall as well. I have it claimed. I'll kind of mention that here in a minute. We are in that transition period, so I think that's the main thing we need to look at. So this kind of tells you how to do it, but realize that rewards are changing, and so does a lot of the contract stuff between claim taxes and all that. So let's come back to Discord now, and I'll show you a little bit more on this so you can understand the transition and the differences between now and the transition on those other nodes that we're fixing to hit. So, all right, you come back to Discord. This is the node info section. This is still current for Thor, Freya, and Heimdall, but not for Odin because Odin's already transitioned and we've already passed the February the 8th. So right now, one of the key items is return of Thor tokens. You guys won't be able to hit that or use this, but it's an old view, I guess, now because of where things are going. There's a new system with claim taxes and whatnot. You know, I want to show you this briefly. So that technically, those periods are, how long will it take you to get back what you invested? So the example I'm going to show is Thor. If it took you 12.5 Thor tokens to create the Thor node, that math is simply how much you generate per day. You take the 12.5 and divide it by that number. So 12.5 divided by the 0.33 tokens per day, almost 38 days to get back 12.5 Thor tokens. A lot of people compound because if you don't compound, these are the taxes that you incur if you were to claim if you haven't hit your ROT period. So if you don't wait the almost 38 days, they will tax you 20% on those tokens if you try to claim them. All right, so that gives that gives the push for you to try to hold or compound. So the other side of this is if you don't want to claim, you can compound those, and that compound will work if you have 12.5 tokens in your wallet, or excuse me, available to claim, not in your wallet. That'll work, and you'll be able to create another Thor node. Now, it only works to let you create the node that's available. They have something called God mode, and I'm going to let you guys take a look at this because this will go too far in this video. And this is the old system, which you guys won't have to worry about as much. Do note that after this, in this system, it is 1% tax if you want to claim as long as you've hit the ROT period. But let's move on from that because this is all changed. This is new, and you can come in here and see the new system. I think I just showed this, so it'll talk about it in here. They have announcements and everything else going on here to explain that for you. So I think next, let me take you to the price chart and show you what that looks like because I think you'll want to know that. So this has been the price track all the way back from early December. You can see as a lot of these projects, they have huge spikes. People coming in and buying, wanting to get involved. It kind of rounded itself out. It hit a rough period right here. And then they did some changes, I believe, some of their initial pivoting back here. And then you can see it picked up greatly. So they've had some good moves up here. This is where I think the transparency and the community have come behind this. Now, I know that doesn't mean much when you see that they've come back again. Most of this is due to price action changes in the project with the new contracts coming in. A lot of people have claimed the Odin tokens because they basically had to, or they were going to lose them to taxes in the past few days when that transition happened for them. So this is just kind of seeing that flesh out. I have faith that this is going to continue to go back up after we get through these bumps with the contract changes and the sustainability changes they've made with reduced tokens that are coming out. Don't be scared of this. I know what it looks like. We've already been through this once before. Well, not me, because I wasn't invested. I mean, can you imagine if you got in at, what is that, about $15, $16 per Thor token, and were able to build those big nodes? Maybe an Odin node back then, if you could afford it. And where it has come now, all the way back up then to almost 230-ish, somewhere in there. My point is, this is a good buying opportunity, guys. Don't miss out if you haven't gotten into this and you want to. Again, not financial advice. I'm just telling you this could be a great opportunity if you look at the action, right? Buy low, sell high. So, all right, let me show you the spreadsheet now. I think that's probably the best place to move next so you can see some of my numbers and where all my stuff came from that I mentioned with the 50K a year. All right, so hopefully this is not too complicated. This is the old section, which should be explanatory here. Got your Thor and your AVAX price up here. So you can take a look at this real quick, kind of to see, but we won't have to worry about the changes in this. I did put a line through here, but that's just a note that this old is no longer correct, mostly with the Thor per day, with the daily value, all that sort of stuff, return a token period. So return a token still, we can keep an eye on that, but that's not really the important thing here. So old school, new school, and this is showing your effective dates. Odin here has transitioned. I marked that. You can see the dates. Thor's coming up. Already mentioned that. So this will tell you everything from your node cost to create the node down to how much that's currently going to cost you, which, like I said, this is pretty cheap. This is, gosh, maybe it was 3 times this much now. Again, great buying opportunity if you want to create the big boy or even the little ones. You're getting in cheap right now, guys. All right. Let's say we've gone in and we've created a Thor node. So that is going to cost us just shy of $1,000. So this will show you daily rewards. This is after the cut, right? They were much, much more before the 0.33. So again, sustainability, don't get mad because you're getting less. You want this to last. You don't want to see this dry up after you get in, right? So that's what this project's about. They're doing their best to make sure that's going to happen for everyone. All right, so daily ROI, I do all the math here for you. This new system, I hadn't mentioned this, I did mention claim tax. So it's always going to be a static 8% claim tax if you claim. If you compound, you don't have to worry about that. You compound the node and you get another one. And that is to say the 12.5 on Thor, if you got those, you get another node to generate you double the tokens. Let's keep going. This new thing they've done, this is very similar to what Strongblock does. They have a monthly fee. This is flat. So $5. I don't know if they'll do AVAX, if they'll do Tether, a stable coin. I don't know what they're going to ask us to pay that in, but that's coming with the new contract. You pay that flat fee every month for the node that you have. So I actually have the Heimdall and the Thor. So mine's going to be $5 for the Heimdall monthly and $20 for the Thor to keep it running. You do have to pay those. You will eventually lose your node if you don't pay those fees. All right, so I've done the math for the 30 days here with the claim tax and the monthly fee in it. And here's your net for each of these. So I'd say this is really what you want to look at. A Heimdall will net you $13 right now. Freya 102, a Thor almost 300, and the Big Daddy almost 2,200. Well, really 2,100, we'll round down. I went ahead and did this math. So we don't really do the return of token anymore, but still, when is your ROI in months? I've got that listed down for you here. So it's going to take me 3.36 months if I've just bought in on Thor after the new contract to get back my investment. Or I can compound and that's going to speed that up by half, right? So here's how we got there. I show my purchases here. I'm going to be there a little faster because I've already been in and I've earned a little bit more, but you can see I invested at a more expensive price than you guys have the opportunity to get into. Actually, didn't do the math here for that one, but that's okay. So here's where the math is coming from, so you guys can see this. I'm looking at this with the price action going back. I fully believe that's going to happen. So if you invested right now and bought the Thor node, this is looking at this. You could do the Odin and you're going to have some way better numbers, but I'm just looking at the Thor node. So if you invest 1,000 right now, there's your daily Thor. This is assuming we're compounding. The number of days it's going to take you to get to node 2 is 86.8 days. We're going to go down and we're going to continue to compound. So this assumes that you keep compounding to 8 nodes. Let's look at that. So I've got it right here. That sum, we'll just do this right here instead of using the built-in, right? That way you guys can see it in real time. So total days for 8 nodes. This says it's going to take you 225 days. That's less than a year. So less than a year you could be, and I know you're not taking profit, but look at it this way. I kind of mentioned to you guys, I don't know if I'll go to 8, but I'm showing you the math here so you can see. If you were to do that, this is going to be the yearly profit that you'll have if you had 8 nodes generating profits. So I know this isn't 50K. I don't think this price is going to stay this low. I think we're in the next couple weeks, we're probably going to be a little flat and then we're going to bounce back, I think. So that's where the math comes from. I don't want to tell you that I, lured you and am steering you in the wrong direction or lied to you. I give you what it is now, but as anything, I expect this price action to kick in. Maybe it doesn't get back to 200, 250 in the next couple weeks, but I do think it's going to increase, and a small increase in this, if it doubled the price right now and it moved to 160, you're already talking almost 60,000 generated in a year with these 8 nodes. All right, so this is awesome. I really, really like this project. I don't have the math on here, but I have some other math I've done on mine. I'm going to have my second Thor node just because I got lucky and got in earlier, and that should be done in about 20 days for me. And I'm going to show you a little bit more of what's going on. If you guys generate the nodes and you start making your Thor and you want to claim, you do have to take into account your claim tax, which I have it down here right now at the current price, but your actual percentages here. All right, so maybe you're going to claim and keep those tokens in your wallet. If you don't want to create another node just yet, but you do claim, or I don't know, you have some extra Thor tokens sitting around. So let's get back over here now. I want to show you what you can do with your extra Thor tokens if you have them, or if you've generated them and you've claimed them and you don't want to necessarily jump straight into another node by compounding. They gave another great way to do this. So I showed you this page. This is the app. This is where you create them and claim. But here, let's go to farm. All right. We're not going to get into all this because this video is long as it is, but if you want to create the Thor AVAX liquidity pool token, you would go to Trader Joe. I believe there's another website as well, but that's where I went. You can invest those. So I've got almost 4 Thor AVAX LPs. They've dropped a little bit with the price action when I first put in, but so that's about $900. Those are sitting there generating me Thor tokens now. So I've got those generating because I put that in. This APR was way higher, but it is still ridiculously good. I'm pushing out quite a bit of Thor tokens, and when I'm getting them here, I'm not letting them sit around and earn me nothing. I've actually moved them down to the single staking pool down here. So you just put your Thor in here. I have 1.91 Thor, and I'm telling you, all of that was generated off of this. So 51% doesn't sound big, but this is way better than just letting those tokens sit in your wallet doing nothing. So if you aren't going to compound with them, or can't compound yet, or create another node, this is where you want to put them at. These guys are doing a wonderful job giving back to the community and helping everybody out. So the other benefit of this is this backs up the Thor token and helps give it a floor by creating those LP tokens to have something backing, which is the AVAX in this case. Well, with that, guys, again, I really think this is a great opportunity. I'm glad I got into this when I did. I wish I had gotten in December. So I'm saying that because I don't want you guys, if you're interested, to look back on this a month from now and go, I really wish I had gotten back in when I saw that guy's video, or even if you didn't see my video and you saw it later, I don't want you to think that you'd missed out and all that. So with that, I'm going to wrap up here, guys, and I really appreciate you checking this out. And with that, I hope you guys would check out another video I have to your right. Please subscribe if you would really help me out, and like this video. We will see you all next time.